Good morning. Welcome. I am Armin Bachmann and work on the support team. In recent months, I have been involved in the support of the release of the beta, the beta 4 version. And today, together with Rodrigo Alvarez from the commercial team, we would like to show you how this type of applications are performed. Today, Gustavo showed you the type of applications he expects. Gaston showed us, explained us about the conceptual model behind these GeneXus applications. And now, with Rodrigo, we'll see if we are able to carry them out. Good morning. Armin promised me that through this hour he will teach me how to make applications for the smart devices. Previously, I used to work with him. I was involved in the beta process. This year, I could not participate as I would like to, but he promised me that today he would teach me how to make an application for the smart devices. The idea is that during the next hour, you will also learn, as I will, how we can make an application for the smart devices. Well, Rodrigo, show me the application. Would like to be positioned as you are. You already have the knowledge base about GeneXus. And when I discussed this with Armin and asked him to create an application, he said, well, an application on what? And I told him about a problem that is quite common in commercial actions in some countries, and is that vendors usually have an SRM that basically includes contacts, companies, meeting agendas with various contacts, maybe billing, a purchase order, and made a small application, basically using GeneXus, where I have companies. It's rather simple. The company has contacts. Well, the picture of Luis when he was young is a bit different. I can schedule meeting with the contacts. And a problem that we have detected in this reality is that usually vendors who must enter the data about the development of a meeting or the data of some of their customers, when they have a web application, it's quite comfortable. But to some extent, I would like to use these smart devices that my sales force already have, and to create a native application, because they convince me that native applications are better than web applications on this particular reality. Armin promised me that in 1 hour he will make this application. Well, tell me then, what is the advantage of an application for the smart devices, or what do you expect? What additional data you expect to have? Well, for instance, I would like to see my contacts directly in the phone, personal contacts, as I'm used to do it in the phone, or to know the location of a meeting. We can do that with the GeneXus or the company's addresses, just to push a button and show me a map of the location, for instance. So let's try to make an application then of this type for the smart devices, complying with your requirements, and we are going to build it up during this hour, and you will ask me what you need. I go to GeneXus on the knowledge base that you already gave me. I'm executing this base in evolution 2, but you can You could have given it to me in Evolution 1 as well. This knowledge base, you already know it from GeneXus. It includes company, contact, meetings. Today Gaston said that we have some objects that are specific for smart devices. And what I'm going to do now is to generate those specific objects. And I'm going to ask GeneXus to do so. I'm applying a sort of pattern that will generate some... Well, what Gaston said this morning is that applications should be more or less similar because the browsing capability should be common. This is a concept of pattern that is already known in the case of GeneXus. The pattern, to some extent, already initializes these objects, and then will be able to personalize them. Let's start. We already have the menu, the full line menu. Let's start with Android. That is the phone I have. This is a list of contacts I made. And here, to some extent, you'll be able to map this concept of GeneXus. Gaston also mentioned the dashboard of the entry point. We are going to create a new object that is a dashboard. And this is created by the default as the developer menu. We can do that. We add an image here in the application. This is the application icon. And we add items, the list of companies. We add an icon here too. This is very easy for all of you. Well, in the first case, I like to have the companies, contacts, and meetings. Contacts, I also associate images. I'm working from scrap here. I think that after the third one you already learned. As we are working alive here, something may fail. No, it won't. There we created a dashboard. We take this object. Here I have a smart devices generator. This is smart devices generator was not in MakeAB before. I'm going to execute it and explain you what I'm doing. You already have an application running on Ruby. When I apply the pattern or any object associated to smart devices, it added a specific generator for the smart devices. This is added by GeneXus. Right. And then what we are doing are native applications for the Android device. Because here I can say the type of device I'm generating for. I'm not talking about BlackBerry or iOS. So right now it's executing that application. But the web application was in Ruby. What is being generated now as a native application for the device? This is here in the browsing. It is generating both web components and components for smart devices. So the application, to some extent, will generate a native application in your device, and also a web component that are services. So there will be an application through the database. Let me see if I understood. When you apply the pattern, you're generating a service layer at the level of the server in Ruby in a different language to the native application in the device. For instance, the language could be Java, or yes, it could be Java or .NET. That service layer is the same. There is also a REST layer. And what is generated at the level of the client, of the customer? It is being generated in a different manner according to the device. If I have not a device. If you don't have a device, you can use the emulator here. First of it, I'm showing it to you on the emulator. I'm not requiring an actual device for this application. Those who participated in the challenge that was a contest we organized with the users, and some of them have not the device, the user simulator, and some of them are among the winners. So having a device is not mandatory. Here I'm showing you the dashboard, the menu. And now, what do we do in the remaining 50 minutes? Well, we can make this application look nicer. These are the applications I had in the web. Let's see one company. Here you have the data of that company. And here we start filling those 50 minutes. I'm seeing the information of the company, and you have defined an address field, and you define it as an address. So automatically it will show you this button, and this will lead us to a map. In Google Maps, and it will position me in that location on the map. So let me see. If I define an attribute as an address, that's enough to show me in the device an action leading me to the map. It's trying to locate it. Here the application is already interacting with the Google Maps included in the device. When did you program that? No, I didn't do it. Actually, you defined the address object. The same happens with the phone. In the phone, you defined a phone type field, and this opens the Android screen in order to make a call. I did not program this screen. So it's not necessary to take a piece of paper and write down a phone number to include it later. Now here you have the local application, and I have to make a call saying I am late, something that never happens to you, but you could use. And here you have a tab for contacts, and when we use it engineering on the knowledge base, we generate screens that are already related to the company and contacts, and generates the various screens. It creates screens and relationships, and I can browse among them. So it identifies the relationships within the KB, and this provides the possibility of browsing. Here we have a list of companies and the companies. There we have all the companies. If I wish to search for one particular company, this is a search action. If I push the menu button, and here I click here, and I see the information concerning that company.